there's levels to religion that's becoming more trendy, right? And it's always been a thing, like where it's just multiple religions. It's always been fascinating to like human culture and stuff like that. So we want to tap in a little bit. Um, I wanted to ask y'all first, just to like jump right into it, man. Like, what do y'all think are some of the origins behind like religion, like just all together?
Um, I guess I can kind of jump in there. I feel like mostly every religion is based off of probably three different origins, and that's your belief system, um, your moral system, and they normally have like some kind of ritual, right? But I think that's usually what every religion that I can think of is that has those three components. So
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think most religions, are centered around, some type of like higher deity or something bigger than yourself. That's really what when it comes down to you practicing a religion, it's you thinking of something other than yourself. In most cases, you see some obscure ones nowadays, but like in most cases, it comes from something that is taken from something that's taken from a higher power, and you give rituals, as DJ said. You give rituals, you give practices, you meditate upon that, whatever it is. In that sense, whatever religion, as for me, as most of us, we focus on Jesus Christ, and that's our religion. So when I think about a religion, um most of that is focused on what things that Jesus said, Jesus did, things that Jesus told us to do. So that's Christianity in itself, So in another sense, they would take something and practice it in a sense. But
Yeah, yeah. So when I was looking stuff up,
what you go
what
ahead, go
happened?
ahead.
What
Nah,
happened?
fortunately, I don't want to say something, but it's okay.
Well, you're
I'm
gonna wait.
gonna wait. I'm gonna wait.
You're
All
gonna wait.
right.
No, well, I was gonna say I saw something as I was kind of doing a little research, a little bit. From a science perspective, they have two prevailing, or I guess two thoughts that are the most popular among scientists on the theory of how religion and religious thoughts came about. The first one is actually called HADD, which stands for hypersensitive agency detecting device. They say that the first humans developed uh, this device within their brains that basically helped them make sense of the world around them. So, like for example, they said, imagine early humans, whatever, like they're hunting for food, right? And then they see the raindrops fall, and so they don't know what the raindrops are doing,
yeah,
but because
Yeah.
it's something different, they're like they attribute some type of supernatural,
being inquisitive
agency.
of it. Yeah,
Yeah, agency meaning, and the key term agency meaning that they're operating on their own. So they're saying that people didn't understand that, uh, raindrops is just part of the weather and how things work, but more so that these raindrops are being propelled by themselves or maybe by something else, and there's a purpose for it. So that's what science says. That's not necessarily what I believe, but apparently this is what science is talking about. And then there's another belief system that's closely related to that. But honestly, I have my own understanding of what how religion came about. To be honest, I believe that because as a Christian, and I guess we'll talk more about that, but there is no other way, right? It's only Christ. Christ is it. So, but the reason why I feel that there are all these other religions out there is because people are trying to make sense of the world, right? They came from a place of how do we get here? What is my purpose? All of that kind of stuff, and they're they come up with these ideas that, for whatever reason, sounds good and it helps them explain what's going on. But ultimately, they're trying to get back to God. But obviously, with the fall of Adam and Eve and everything like that, people get scattered, people get confused on what's really the truth. So they're trying to make sense of it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's interesting too. Like, not to jump in real quick, but it's interesting that she said like what you said had, right? Is that like a had
Yeah,
theory? Because
hypersensitive agency detection device.
yeah, and I think it's overly the scientists are gonna put like 20 on 10, but like I think because I was doing some research too, and it's like a lot of the I guess I would say like a lot of the general origins of religion that I found is like where people were just trying to make sense of, what was like you said, what was going
That's
on
what I was
around
gonna
them.
say. Yeah.
Because like, they had remember too, like real primitive times, like they had 12 hours of sunlight where the sun was up, it was providing heat, they could see, they can do everything they could, whatever, and then 12 hours of darkness where they couldn't see, it was cold, they didn't understand it. And so like a lot of these early like people started worshiping the sun because they felt like the sun provided them you know safety, provided them security, provided them like just the ability to function versus when the sun wasn't there and they had to. I mean, it was dark, just the
Yeah,
counterparts of it.
yeah, it's cold and they looking for shelter. The sun brings warmth. That's kind of what in a way it helps with life, right? Like you see the plants and uh, forage and flowers, whatever, growing with the sun, and in the wintertime
Right.
these things die. So that's a big part of it too.
Yeah. Yeah. DTH. I know you said the science, but that Fortunato hit it right on the head. That's in essence what I think religion is about. Is everybody's in search for trying to see, who's the person that create this raindrops, like you said, or the person create this sun. Like, what's the reason why I'm here? So that's why I feel like a lot of people are searching for God, right? And then they put their own interpretations as to who this God is, or how can I get in touch with this God, right? So yeah, you hit it
and
right on the head.
and to certain degrees they wasn't even looking for God, they were just looking for security, they was just
A
looking for
higher power.
safety.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like they didn't know like what they was looking for. They just knew that when this object came up, like things were better
I
than
can't
when the
control
sun
it.
was not
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
And so like, go
No.
ahead, Lee.
No, I was gonna say it taps into like part of what religion part of it is. Like it gives people a sense of organization. It gives you a sense of what comes next. Like you kind of know a little bit about, all right, this is what's gonna come, and I know how to expect this. It's not necessarily chaos in your head. It's easier to compartmentalize things in your head when you tie it to a set of beliefs and you tie it to a set of practices, or like people maybe who have worshipped the sun, like you guys have mentioned. There was so many religions, the Egyptians, all these people have sun gods, and the Greeks, they had the Zeus who believe, I don't think he was a sun god anyway, but you have all the religions who mainly have like the sun as like some type of deity,
Yeah, it's a
because it's
central
like
figure.
yeah, it gives people a sense of organization. It tells time in a sense. Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Levi Strauss here. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and tune in for more.